Hi there, folks. Welcome to the program. This, of course, is Stinchfield, the podcast. Have you been to the pharmacy recently? What is it with minions behind the counters pushing the jab, all kinds of vaccines on you? First off, I think most of these people have no idea what the ramifications are of getting these vaccines. They're basically told by corporate, just start pushing these things. Sell lots of vaccines, whether it's the COVID jab, the flu shot, RSV, you name it. I don't think they have any idea. And so I'm asking myself, what happened to doctors and patients discussing the pros and cons, the risks versus the benefits? Instead, you walk into a CVS or a Walgreens and some kid like straight out of high school is going to be asking you whether or not you want your flu shot or not. We've lost our way on that front. I want to talk about that today. I want to figure out who's actually pushing this idea, why the just so adamant about getting everybody vaccinated with every kind of vaccine under the sun, and I think it all comes down to money. Well, we'll talk about all of that. Before we do, let's talk about the Wellness Company. They're the sponsors of this podcast, and I'm so grateful for that. You know, you talk about the COVID jab. Well, we know the spike protein has caused so many problems. We're going to talk a little bit about a resurgence of clots now as well. Microclots and big-ass clots in dead bodies that coroners are finding. But these microclots as well, a real problem. Here's what you can do. Ultimate Spike Detox from the Wellness Company, formulated by Dr. McCullough. This helps get that spike protein out of your system. And folks, you may not have had the jab, but you have a very high level of the spike protein in your system. I would urge everybody go get tested for this. You may need this because if you've had COVID and you have a high level of spike protein, you too could be at risk. This helps just basically cleanse your body of that. This is Ultimate Spike Detox. And then, of course, don't forget the Wellness Company's old favorite, the old standard, the emergency medical kit that every home should have. Prescription medications in here that you need to keep you and your family safe. TWC.health/Grant. Use the promo code GRANT for 10% off, and you'll be better off for it. With that, let's get the show started.
Uncensored and unapologetic. This is Stinchfield. Here's your host, Grant Stinchfield.
All right, welcome everybody. One of the things that I love about the Wellness Companies, they've been very outspoken about choice and about the ability for people to make decisions when it comes to their health and not have government overreach and just mandate things. We saw that during COVID. It's almost like a mandate when you go into the drugstore and they mandate, basically, oh, you haven't had your flu shot? Well, we better sit you down right now. I mean, strap me down with handcuffs in the chair and give me my flu shot. What is happening on that front, and should they be doing this? Well, I want to bring in now a man who's become a very good friend of mine, Dr. Alejandro Diaz. He's with the Wellness Company. Dr. Diaz, welcome to the program.
Hi, Grant. Thank you so much for having me back on your show.
You know, I'm surprised, Doc, that we have not talked about this sooner, but it struck me because I went in literally to pick up a prescription medication, and lo and behold, do I want this shot? Do I want that shot? Have I had my shingles shot? Have I had an RSV shot? I mean, this is like a restaurant, the server at the restaurant offering up the specials of the day.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's happening every day, everywhere in the United States, unfortunately. And let me tell you, Grant, you know, I'm a pediatrician. I'm an allergist, immunologist, global health specialist. I have a clinic for many, many years, and I see patients on a regular basis, hundreds, thousands, many, many patients for many, many years. And I really think that vaccines, they should be elective, 100% elective. It's a personal choice. You don't have to be pushed about it. You don't have to be, this mass formation thing about everybody getting a lot of shots. The reason that I'm telling you this and your audience is that, you know, I have a lot of experience seeing patients, actually patients. And I am, I'm very sick and tired of seeing beautiful babies, beautiful boys and girls all the time getting sick. and sick every week, every 2 weeks, every month, with upper respiratory infections and a lot of allergies and a lot of asthma and a lot of different things that they shouldn't be there. Moms and dads frustrated, kids sick all the time, coughing, running nose, feeling sick, not going to do the sports, swimming, football, things like that. And the only common denominator that I have found over the years are vaccines. I have four beautiful boys, and I don't vaccinate my boys anymore.
So, then this brings me to the case that, all right, these are discussions that you should probably have with patients. Patients could take what you say and weigh the benefits with your input. Maybe they like you as a doctor. Maybe they don't like you. Maybe they go find another doctor. Maybe they tell all their friends about you and you get more patients. Either way, it should be about that, not about some lab coat behind the counter at Walgreens telling you need this. How did we get to that point, Doc?
Well, there's a lot of push from the pharmaceutical industry, from big pharma, because they really want to push the vaccines. These products that, to be honest, and talking on an honest medical standpoint and a really immune standpoint, not many people need these vaccines. But the pharmaceutical industry, they found out that if they push and they have a lot of people vaccinated, the result will be that many people will get sicker and sicker and sicker, and they will look for doctor visits and consultations, and they will prescribe a lot of medications and antibiotics and things along that line. I mean, you can see in different studies and different populations like the Amish and the Mennonites and so on and so forth, they are the healthiest kids and they don't get vaccinated. They go to the pediatrician once a year for the physical, just for the physical.
I think the pharmacists and the people that work in the pharmacy are really being used as pawns. My assumption is they probably believe they're doing the right thing. They probably believe that the vaccines are great and they're helping everybody. And the pharmaceutical companies just basically use them as an assembly line.
100%. And this is not about bad people or good people. It's about conscious. They don't know what they're doing. Unfortunately, they've been told you have to push this, you have to talk about this, and even medical students. And I was one of them many years ago when I went to medical school. You're indoctrinated. You are indoctrinated to push prescriptions, to push vaccines, but they never tell you the side effects of vaccines. They only tell you that they will prevent this disease and so on and so forth.
I'm going to go back. I'll give us a little flashback, okay? Because I'm sure the pharmacists watch TV and they probably have great trust in the mainstream media. So let's go to a little flashback during the pandemic. CNN talking about the shots, and then I'll get your reaction now that we look back on this 5-6 years later.
News. Drug maker Pfizer just announcing the results of its vaccine trial for adolescents. It says its coronavirus shot was 100% effective at preventing infection and sickness among 12 to 15-year-olds. This could be a major game changer for reopening schools across America. So joining us now is Dr.
100% effective. I just saw a report that myocarditis is up like 500% or something like this. This is like, and it says basically the vaccine was well tolerated. She was about to tell us it's not 100% effective or well tolerated, Doc.
Exactly, that's absolutely true, Grant. So the COVID jobs, what I call the toxic injectable products of experimentations, because there are not vaccines. I'm an immunologist, vaccinologist. I know exactly what a vaccine is. These weren't vaccines, and they cause much more harm than they cause any good. So they were not safe nor effective. We all know that now. I talk to regularly. I speak to colleagues virtually all over the world. As you know, I travel all over the world to give my conferences and so on and so forth, and I share and I talk to a lot of doctors, and they are very surprised of all the negative and the side effects they are seeing in their own countries, in their own practice, in different continents of the world, from myocarditis to pericarditis to myocardial infarcts in very young 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 11-year-olds, everywhere in the United States, outside of the United States, clotting problems, turbo cancers. Come on, I mean, what's the deal with this hysteria?
Let me play a clip from you about this idea of the clots. Dr. Ryan Cole was on with two colleagues of yours, Dr. Drew and Dr. Kelly Victory, and he was talking about these clots. I thought I'd play it for you and get your response.
It's that microclotting that I think is the principal thing that we need to address in medicine. Now, there's one thing that I've been a big advocate for, and that's derived from fermented soy, nattokinase, which is an enzyme that breaks down fibrin. And if you look at, again, parts of the world like northern Japan, they don't die from heart disease and strokes, and they eat a lot of this fermented soy in their diet. And I'm not your doctor. I'm just saying an interesting observation is to look at this. It's known as a fibrinolytic enzyme that's naturally available both in food and as a supplement. And I've had colleagues who've ended up with clots after long travels and put on Eliquis and other drugs. And I said, have you tried nattokinase? And a day or two later, gosh, their clot is dissolved.
All right, so it's interesting. He brings up nattokinase. This is part of Dr. McCullough's protocol to get the spike protein. We know that we've seen clotting with the vaccine. He's talking about people flying and that kind of thing. But this idea of clots, Doc, I'm telling you, they seem to be increasing at a record level in all kinds of ways, shapes, and forms.
Yeah, and Dr. Ryan Cole, who is a dear friend of mine, he's one of the best pathologists in the United States and a world expert of the study of what happened with the COVID shots. He's right. He's 100% right. And, one of the great things about the Ultimate Spike Detox was created by our dear friend, Dr. Peter McCullough at the Wellness Company. The combination of amazing natural products like nattokinase, bromelain, turmeric, dandelion, black pepper, selenium, black seed, and so on and so forth. Those are amazing products, natural products that can degrade the spike protein that attaches to the ACE2 receptors. And ACE2 receptors are virtually all over our bodies, like specifically blood vessels, lungs, kidneys, heart, brain, and that spike protein will attach to these ACE2 receptors in those tissues and organs, and will increase the damage, will start the inflammation, will hurt the intima of the blood vessels, and will create clotting and so on and so forth. So with this amazing solution, natural solution, people can see the benefits of not having those inflammatory reactions and blood clotting and so on.
So it's interesting because Dr. McCullough offered up a partner to Ultimate Spike Detox. I'm going to play a little clip for you here.
Hey everybody, Dr. Peter McCullough, Chief Scientific Officer of the Wellness Company, introducing Ultra NAC. You may have heard about data regarding N-acetylcysteine denaturing the spike protein and allowing it to be better cleared through the liver and the kidneys. And now the Wellness Company has Ultra NAC as a perfect companion to the Ultimate Spike Detox. And together, this regimen will help you detoxify after SARS-CoV-2 infection and after COVID-19 vaccination, and give you the best chance for a speedy and complete recovery coming out of the pandemic. So pick up Ultra NAC today, in addition to McCullough Protocol-based spike protein detoxification, and get on the pathway, the fast lane to better health. So
that, of course, is Dr. McCullough and Ultra NAC, which seems to be a perfect little combination. Doc, that too helps clear the system.
100%. It's a phenomenal product. And I really think that, virtually vax or not vax, especially those who were vaccinated, they should take it because, enormous benefits. And those of us who didn't get those shots, but we do get COVID, the infection. I mean, we have to take it. It's a wonderful product.
Yeah. It's interesting. All of this gets back to the idea of free speech. You were out there on the front lines of free speech during all this, and continue to be, and continue to take hits. I saw a piece by The Daily Show. It was a skit, and it was poking fun at free speech. And I thought, man, oh man, how hypocritical is The Daily Show to say somehow the Trump administration is squashing free speech when I've never felt more free to say what I need to say about anything and not get in trouble. Let me play you this skit and then get your response on if you think it's hypocritical when they shut down our Facebook pages, they shut down our YouTube pages, they took us off social media, they demonetized us, they deplatformed us, they debanked us, and The Daily Show has left us as it is. Dr. Diaz, I guess I'm not surprised by this. They want us to think it's funny, but all I could see was hypocrisy.
Oh my gosh, have you been watching the news? They're cracking down on anyone who criticizes the president.
I know. I'm worried about my freedom of speech.
You mean like if I say, I don't really think President Trump is doing that great of a job?
Shh, you're gonna get in trouble.
Not me, because I just signed up for Free Speech Plus.
What's that?
It's this new service from the Trump administration. I can say anything I want about the president for just $50 a month.
What a deal. Do I pay with an app?
Oh no, you just hand $50 to the man standing over your shoulder.
Oh no, I only have $40.
Oh, that's okay. You can just sign up for Free Speech Plus with ads. I can talk as much as I want, and every 15 minutes, my mouth plays a commercial.
With gold at an all-time high, it's never been a better time to sell your jewelry for cold, hard cash.
Whoa, that was barely noticeable.
It even happens when I sleep.
Cool. And here I thought just my constitutional right to free speech was enough.
Doc, it's not even funny. I mean, like, literally the things they did to us, and they're talking about free speech now?
It was crazy. I don't know if you read the book of my good friend Matthias Desmet. He talked about this mass formation and how we were controlled by virtually all governments in the world. And it was just a hysteria. And even though the ideas were just crazy ideas, but we were just following those ideas. And I'm very fortunate and I'm very proud to be one of those doctors around the globe who stood up and was brave enough to speak the truth in front of the cameras, radios, television, different parliaments, different scenarios everywhere in the world, and just to bring hope to the people, because we were just very indoctrinated to those very dark times.
I can't help but think you had doctors they threatened to pull medical licenses from, doctors who lost their positions, very prominent positions with hospital chains. And then even if you put the doctors aside, go to the January 6th and the stolen election narrative. You had lawyers now who were fighting for President Trump that were not only prosecuted for coming up with legal assessments of a path for President Trump. You have lawyers who are trying to be disbarred from many, many areas. I think of my friend John Eastman, who they've just ruined. They've tried to bankrupt them. And the Daily Caller comes out with a skit like that, and I'm thinking, you guys are tone deaf. Can you think of any case right now where free speech has been silenced by the Trump administration?
Oh no, not at all. No, I think this is like you said before. This is the time where we can speak more freely about what we think, in many decades. So I think this is the perfect and the right time, and I think everybody collectively we're doing a phenomenal job just to try to help as many people as we can. Me from the medical standpoint and so on and so forth. And you're doing an amazing job, and people like yourself having a great free speech and bringing conscience to the world.
Well, I appreciate that. Let's let me jump back into another clip that I have because I know you're a healthy guy also. Did I remember? Are you a runner? Is that what? Do you?
I used to box.
Used to box. Okay. Well, this may play right into that because boxing is certainly short bursts of energy. You have 3-minute rounds and then you rest and then a short burst of energy. I saw this clip and I thought to myself, you know what's so crazy is when my hip was not bothering. I have a hip issue now, but I would sprint or at least try to sprint a quarter of a mile, and then I would walk the quarter of a mile, and then I would sprint the quarter of a mile. And I would do this for about like 15 to 20 minutes, and I felt I got far more exercise than I did if I just ran at a decent pace for 30 minutes. And then I saw this clip about short bursts of energy. Take a look at this, and then you tell me if you think this is something we should be considering in our exercise regimen.
There's lots of data now showing that people that are doing these like short bursts at least a minute long, but up to 3 minutes. And it's having outsized effects on health outcomes. So for example, individuals that do on the high end, so they're doing, 3 minutes of this short burst of an unstructured type of exercise snack, and they do it 3 times a day. So it's a total of 9 minutes a day. Okay, this type of activity, and it's considered more vigorous because of the intent to move, right? That's more vigorous, even though they're not measuring heart rate. That's associated with a 40% reduction in all-cause mortality, 40% reduction in cancer-related mortality, a 50% reduction in cardiovascular-related mortality.
Wow.
9 minutes a day. And this is even in people that don't identify as exercisers. So they're not the kind of people like you and I that go and intentionally set out time to go to the gym. The people that they're doing those things, right? They're playing with their grandkids or their kids or their puppies or whatever. And so these moments, they add up. And this is like one study after another after another. I mean, it's undeniable that these short moments of, getting physically active do add up.
So that's interesting. And, I'm going to acknowledge something. I don't think I listened to the entire clip before I played it for you. And then I hear her. So she's saying 9 minutes a day. You do 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and 3 minutes, and it has these great effects. Do you believe that could be possible?
Well, she's right in a way, but I will definitely recommend that kind of exercise to very healthy people, kind of young people, because if there's any cardiovascular problem that like many Americans have, or any clotting problems that unfortunately many Americans have, we can be in trouble because there's a burst of a lot of neurotransmitters like adrenaline and so on and so forth, and that can really burst that energy to the heart, and the heart needs to pump a lot of blood, and we can get into some trouble if we do that, especially in those kind of situations. But if you're young and you're healthy, it's okay.
All right, so I'm old and healthy, I guess. I mean, I'm not as old as some people, but I'm older than
We're
others.
the same age.
We're the same age. All right, I'm 57 years old. I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. Like I try to keep my body in good shape. Are you telling me probably don't do these bursts of energy? Too dangerous?
Well, I will be cautious about it. Just cautious about it, and I will let that to like athletes, young people, and very healthy people. Like people our age.
Yeah,
Grant, we should do just regular exercise. Continue to have our supplementation, our regular exercise, aerobic, cardio, walking. We can run. We can do different things. A lot of lift weighting. It's important. It's important because we have to build muscle mass. It's important for our aging process and longevity and health. So yeah, I don't recommend that for older people like ourselves.
I would. Weightlifting is where I get most of my exercise from, and I do it about 4 days a week. And I don't do it very long. I do it for about 30 minutes, but I don't rest really in between. I superset everything, so I'm constantly going for 30 minutes. That's where I get most of my exercise, and then I'll take the dogs for a walk. But I'm going to tell you, it's an old man walk. It's not a very brisk. It's not a very brisk walk. I call it my old man walk, but I guess it's better than nothing.
But you look great, so I think you're doing the right thing, Brad.
Yeah. The feeling's mutual, Doc. It's always great having you on the program. I always appreciate your insight into all of this, and I appreciate your boldness, too. There's not a lot of people out there as bold as you or the other doctors at the wellness company, and I'm grateful for that, Dr. Diaz.
Thank you so much, Grant. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick, where can people find you online?
So basically on my Substack, that it's Biopolitics, that I just wrote a very interesting article about the resurgence of tuberculosis in the United States. I think everybody should read that. And on X at Alejandro Diaz, MD.
All right, at Alejandro Diaz, MD. And we'll check out that article. I'm sorry I didn't get to that today. We need to do that next time. We'll talk about that for sure, because that is most certainly an interesting topic. Dr. Diaz, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you, Grant.
Absolutely. And folks, let me remind you about the Wellness Company, our great sponsor here, and the great products that they have. twc.health/Grant. Use the promo code GRANT for 10% off. Let me remind you, too, as I mentioned, I'm an old guy. TheraBlue is a great peptide-based pain gel that really penetrates like nothing you've ever seen when it comes to these rub-ons. So try the TheraBlue. It's fabulous. And then the Parasite Cleanse. You know I'm a big fan of this. I do it 3 times a year. And I believe the course of the Parasite Cleanse, which is ivermectin and mebendazole, you will get enough for about a year's worth of this. So think about the Wellness Company Parasite Cleanse. If you have pets, you have parasites. Parasites, I believe they're showing evidence, are a cause of cancer. Get the parasites out of your system. twc.health/Grant. Use that promo code GRANT. That's going to do it for us tonight. We will see you on the Real America's Voice show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Stinchfield's Army rolls. We will see you soon.